Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. How was the volume? How was the volume? How was the volume to the music? How was the... Is there any crackles, by the way? I've noticed last time when I checked the VOD on YouTube, it was kind of crackly. It wasn't super bad, but it was crackling you out. I did test it before stream. I noticed this thing that happens with the restreamer thing that I'm using, but let me know if that's happening again. But yeah, welcome back. I'm gonna be classifying this DualSense today, because I got my buttons. I was gonna paint it as well, but honestly, this is kind of the aesthetic I have going on, right? I need like a poking stick so I can reach my other keyboard. So, this is kind of the aesthetic that I have going on, right? With all my mods and stuff. Like, I got white consoles, I got black consoles. Most of them have like a mixed black and white, so it's kind of pretty aesthetically pleasing. I was kind of glad the PS5, you know, it's not the best design, but the black and white thing just blends in really well with everything else. So a few of the mods that I've done before is the Switch. This is not an OLED, by the way. Basically, when I got it, I modded it with this cool black and white thing. And it even has a D-pad, which is really nice. I don't like the colors of the buttons that much. They feel kind of like cheap, but they feel good. They work good. That's the aesthetic. So, for my Xbox One, controller, I basically made it a little more classic. It's, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this as well. It's just you can see the colors are a little bit off, especially in the blue. But I was pretty happy with it. This controller I didn't have to mod, because you can just order them custom. So I got this one. This is the one that I use mostly, and I'm really happy with this aesthetic because it looks very classic Xbox 360. So the DualSense, very cool controller, but the battery life kind of sucks, which I have now fixed. By the way, I'm really happy with how that turned out. It does have a lot more battery. If you're gaming like for 12 hours, you might still have a problem, but a full gaming session, like a full day, is fine now. It's completely fine. I rarely run out of battery in a day, but it's still like a one-day thing, but now it can last a day. One thing I didn't like about this controller was how glossy the buttons are. Not just because of the look, but because of the feel as well. It does work, it keeps it in place, it works as a controller, but I'm not really that happy about the feel of it. Maybe that's a TISM thing, I don't know. But I've got these buttons now. Came in this nice little bag as well. So I've ordered these from Etsy, and these are basically just PS4 controller buttons. So you can get an old PS4, open it up, and get these buttons. There's some parts you have to clip off, like right here. Not on all the buttons, I think, but I couldn't find any good secondhand but controllers that were broken that I could rip off. So or rip apart, I guess. So someone on Etsy selling these, and it was the right price. And it comes with this little classic logo button as well. So I just bought these, and I'm gonna put these in. So I was gonna change this a little bit. I was thinking about making this dark gray, just like spray painting it. But honestly, with the rest of the aesthetic that I have going on, it might be fine just leaving it black, you know? I might still make these buttons dark, just to match the rest, but we'll see. For today, I'm just gonna put these in. I'm gonna get rid of the other controllers. So I have some more room to work with. Oh, by the way, so this is how the OSSC turned out. This is the case for it. I pried off the old feet from the old case, and I just stuck them on. I didn't even use any extra glue. Usually you can just transfer them. It looks really neat. It looks really clean. Even this part that I had to like sand. It looks good, right? And the buttons, yeah, it kind of works well. I used for the buttons to hold them in place. Like if you put them in. Instructions on how to do it, but I had these O-rings. I just put 2 of them on, and that kind of helps put them in place. I've had one instance where I was testing it, where they wouldn't unpress, and they don't feel like the best buttons, but they work as they are. So I'm really happy with that. And yeah, the operation in itself, you know, was a complete success. The thing works. The thing does what it needs to do. So. Then before I begin, I have a few future projects that I will be doing shortly. First off is I got an X-Station, which is a PS1 optical drive emulator. This will replace the CD unit. For now, I do still want the CD unit to work, because I'm going to be hanging with some friends and we're going to put in some CDs. Like, you know, some demo discs and go through them. But after that, I'm going to replace the PSIO, which I've talked about. The author is an ass. So I'm gonna replace it with this thing. And it'll help a lot with compatibility and stuff. Oh, and it'll be syncable to my memcard Pro as well. That. Just select the game. The memcard will create a memcard for that game on an SD card. I can just go. And then another project that I'm gonna do pretty soon. I've got these mod kits for original So the thing that usually breaks on these controllers is the cable. You know, if it's not the buttons, because you can usually fix the buttons, but usually it's the cable. You know, it's kind of cool to just have a console like that, very classic, where you just plug in the controls and stuff, but wireless is just so convenient. So we're gonna make these wireless with these kits. And with these receivers, which also look pretty, you know, close to stock, other than it says 8-bit to 7-bit. This is something for a very near future. It might happen, I don't want to say this week, but it could happen this week. Otherwise, all of this is for next year. Let's get started. So, last time opening this thing was it was doable, but you know, it was a bit hard. And I've noticed that this part down here isn't like fully connected anymore, so we might fix that as well. It's just like a very slight thing. Same with this part. If I want to plug in a USB-C right now, I have to like press it down, because otherwise it won't fit. After that, it will fit real well though, like it'll just be jammed in there. But other than that, this came out really well. But let's see if we can fix that. I'm not going to use a guide this time, because I'm pretty sure I still remember. Maybe I'll have to open one halfway through, but we'll see. There is this thing to note about these DS4 buttons. So most of them will just slot in straight. These have like a very straight surface. These have like a nice curve to them. Like the design of this is very good. So the curve will be gone. I don't mind. It might be... I think some people might prefer it. There is the thing with the O button though. This one has a very nice slope. It's just a well-designed thing, right? But this O is just straight. So it will be straight sticking up. It will be a flat surface. Again, some people might prefer that. I think I'm good both ways. There are different mod kits that people have done. Let's see. I think the same shop sells them as well, where you can still have the curve. But I really did not like the coloring on those. Like, these are actually PlayStation buttons produced by Sony, and the color of this is nice. The other one looked like the O is very red, maybe closer to PS1, which is kind of alright, but the one thing that I couldn't stand was that the triangle and the X on those buttons had different thickness to the lines, and it just threw me off. I just didn't like it. So I went with these. Now, last time I opened this up, I had that kit, so that came with some tools. I don't know, I know where I put it. Oh, never mind. I do know where I put it. Right here. But let's get the curtain clips as well. Start cracking. We're not going to need the scope, but I'm just going to turn it on for aesthetic reasons. It has a lot of cool, shiny buttons. Right, how do we do this again? I'm going to try to do it from memory until it feels like it might be something that I could fuck up. I think I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit more. Let me just see, that should be fine. Should be fine. How did we get started last time? This has to be removed. There's some screws underneath here, there's some screws under here, there's some screws under here. You have to flip them off, but pretty sure it started by having to remove the black part. As I said before, there's a little bit of opening still, so it might be... yeah. Might be quite easy to remove. So I wouldn't be... oh yeah, that was easy. I wouldn't be surprised if I still end up struggling at certain points. Because last time this controller, there's some really tough clips in there. Let's see if those softened up. There we go. That went a lot smoother. So kind of like when you get to that point, it's just like kind of like a pull out and pull up. But don't like overdo it so you damage these. Because they do seem like they would be very fragile. You know, I really kind of like the look as well. Where it's just open, but we're not going to leave it like that. So last time I only had to open some parts of it because the PS5 was quite easy. I'm going to need to get to the buttons, so I might need to disassemble this thing fully. Yeah, so I might, once I'm through with the basic layers, I might actually get a guide so I don't fuck things up. Alright, next up, triggers. Just top ones for now. Hopefully the others don't need to come out. This could be a painful operation, by the way. There's a lot of technology in here. If I need to get all the way to the buttons, we'll see. It's a lot easier. Last time. I'm gonna leave the new buttons over here. I don't think there's a difference between the top and the bottom screws, but I'm still gonna leave them in that order. Put them back in the same one. There we go. So now for the hard part, depending on how this will go this time. Right. So these clips need to go. That was... I almost forgot about those. That's kind of why they included these things. Which really is not the best tool for these, but I guess curtain clips are cheap to throw in. Yeah, I'm gonna need some better tools. There we go. They could have just thrown in the guitar pick. That would have been so much better. Now we get to that part, right? But I think because I opened last time, yeah, it's a lot easier. Well, hang on, we're not. Oh. Are we? Are we there? Oh my god, it's so much easier now. So I guess once you've opened them up, and it becomes a breeze. I'm looking though because you know, the reason that these things usually become a breeze is because a clip snapped off. And I think I might actually see one. You see these things over there? Might be very hard to see. It's not quite a clip, but it's like, you know, just a vertical thing. On this side, this is snapped off. On this side, this one's almost snapped off. It's not quite clip. It's not even like the hard clip that I'll get. I think it just got snapped off last time because I was having such a hard time opening it up. That just kind of happened. It's probably not integral to any sort of structural, yeah, benefits to the controller. So all right. So that was a lot easier. I'm gonna unplug the battery that I installed last time. Remember that. I'm gonna pry off the connector sort of carefully. Oh shit, I booted up the PlayStation. No! That might mess with some stuff, unfortunately. So I hope it doesn't fuck up my stream. Oh god, what's happening? Give me a sec. Well, I'll unplug the battery first and then we'll see where we're at. Well, at least I have Persona music in the background. I don't know if that's coming through for you guys, but I hope not because you're getting both of them then. I'm gonna mute that. At the very least, there we go. I think everything else audio-wise is still okay. So we're still cooking. There we go. Alright, battery gone. So, alright, let's give it a look. There's a whole bunch of ribbon cables you gotta be very careful with. This one for the mic, I believe. over the ports, charging dock. A lot of thin wires for the rumble motors. Ribbon over there. All of that's gotta go. There's another ribbon in there. I think I'm gonna get started without a guy and just try to be very careful with what I'm doing, so I don't screw up anything. Let me get better screwdriver. Because I am pretty sure it's gonna need to be fully disassembled to do this upgrade. But hey, at least we get to look at most of the tech that's in there. Okay, so this ribbon cable gonna need to be unplugged. Actually, I could leave that in. Wait, hang on. So this is the mic, right? Wait, is this the mic? Are those both mics? Oh, there might be two mics in there, like one on the back and one on the front. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know how good the sound quality is on that, but maybe it's alright. So this port does seem to be just in there. This ribbon connector for the second mic will need to go. I wish I had like a plasticky plier to pull stuff out like this, but if I don't, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab metal pliers, put some tape on them. I don't know if this is the best call for grip. It's a bit thick, but it's kind of super hard to grab things now. It's way too thick. Oh, got it. Here's the thing, like those motors do not have a connector, so probably need to unscrew them, but instead what I could also do is desolder them. There's pretty big pads, pretty straightforward. I do think I'm just gonna remove them for now and just see what happens. If, you know, if the cable snaps off, I'll just solder a new one on, I guess. This whole assembly come off now? Pretty sure this needs to come off before that can happen. Maybe not. Because like this is all kind of connected together. Not even kind of. I do think this is one assembly. And so if I could take everything off, like this wouldn't even need to come off. Which is, that's the cable for the triggers, including those amazing adaptive triggers. You can see like the whole assembly takes up a lot of space, which makes sense. Like there's some motors in here and down there, like all the way at the end. All the rest is probably for the adaptive mechanism. Yeah. Piece of tech. These seem to be the exact same modules, not even mirrored, like copied, because both of them are on this side. That makes all sense. Yeah, let's see. How do I get the rest of the shell off? That's happening. Oh, things are falling out. It's buttons. Right. So there's one thing I still see things holding together. It's the ribbon to this, and that's this one. There's some softer pliers in this kit. Yeah. It's not. They're not too grippy anymore. I don't know. Just from like use. It's not flat. That's not gonna work. I'm gonna need just the surface on this, and I'll just have to be careful with it. There we go. Guide that in. And there we go. So we got access to the buttons. Sweet. Look at it. It's the essence of the control. It would technically still work like this, you know? Kind of. You would have a hard time pressing this. You need to tape some like aluminum foil to your fingers, but technically everything's here, you know. Battery. All right, that wasn't too difficult. We'll see how it is putting it back together. So yeah, now comes the button swap. These buttons. I do like how this is still stuck, so that if you turn it over, like not everything will just fall out. Actually, nothing will. Will you actually pry it off? Often these controls will just have these things resting on there, and then put it back together. It becomes a little bit of a hassle. With the old, this little tap to keep it oriented, I guess, which doesn't really matter, huh? And this is the replacement. So this one doesn't have the tap. I do think this might also just come from a DualShock 4. But it it's so similar. It does not have the tab, but it does have a different type of tab. I think it will be in the way, but otherwise they pretty much just reused them all. Well, they didn't reuse them all. They did like redesign it slightly. So that tab, oh, that's supposed to go down there, I guess. So in this case, it'll kind of just be loose. I wonder if it'll be a little bit looser than it was before. I don't think it's gonna matter. It's not that much. Making sure it's in there properly again. This is supposed to overlap. Okay. Whoa. That's a whole different look. I think this will complement the black that's in here very nicely. This part. Yeah. But you can see like this is more of a like dark gray and then this black. If I could get this to match up with this, that would be really awesome. I think I just need a little, just a good dark gray, not even primer, just like spray this. But we'll check that out in the future. This is the part you can just snap out without having to do anything else for the controller. So we'll look into that in the future. Okay, so that's these buttons. I'm happy with it already. I'm happy with the way it looks, and like this glossy stuff has a real good grip properties, I must say. Like the entire controller does, but it also has like this feel of, I feel like my hands sweat more with this controller. It's not like that is a problem, but I do feel it compared to like the Xbox controller or anything. And yeah, I think I do prefer the feel of this. Let's do the symbol buttons. There we go. You can see, right? These are like rounded off, and they have like, all of them have like a little bit of shape. Like even the triangle has like a little bit of a slope. Even the X. Even the square has just a very slight curve. But the O, that's a whole different thing. It's a very steep slope. So none of these will have that. So that will change the feel of it. Let's put them in. Let's see how those tabs line up. So the size is about the same. This is kind of different. This is a little bit longer. There is a little tab on the bottom here that you won't be having here. No, it's quite similar. And definitely similar enough to just drop it in. We'll do it. Oh, there's one extra tab on this side. I think there was a tab originally here, but they broke that off because that wouldn't fit. Just breaking it off would be enough. So, you know, but it all needs to go on the outside. There. This is like one of those dumb video game door puzzles where you just have to, like Starfield, you just have to rotate it till it fits. For the X, it actually matches up fully. This is a little bit longer and less thick than that, but other than that, it still matches up. And finally, a square, which is very different. Yeah, there's two tabs that do not exist on this one. I do think these are engineered very well. Like, they wouldn't be going anywhere. They wouldn't have any play. This might be a little bit different. There you go, and let's take a look. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so good. Even if there's a little bit more play now, it's gonna be totally worth it. That's great. So finally, the logo. This one, there's some vinyl that's been put on here. The quality of this, the print of it, it's alright. If you look close, it does look like it's printed, you know, which it is. It's not like engineered fully. Like, it does look like someone just printed it out and glued it on, which is kind of what happened, you know. This a sticker. So an engineered piece that would have been painted would have been even cooler, but I do think this whole complete look. That out as well. And I want to say this looks like a genuine button that just has a sticker on it, but the material from this, the original one, and this is different. This one's a lot matter. It could still be an OG button though. Maybe not. Give me a second. So my TV and everything has switched to PlayStation. You want to keep that on because if the TV shuts down, that is going to mess with my PC. It's going to get the device unplugged thing, and that might mess with OBS. With it on, I do want to keep it on. Alright. There we go. Oh, that's really good. We'll get to see it properly when it's actually in there, but I think I might really enjoy where this is going. By the way, I'm also going to mod my PS5 a little bit. There's this like cutout of the PS logo on the side, but it's just plain white. So I'm going to put a sticker underneath it so that it also looks like the classic PlayStation logo. That's all I'm going to do. I used to have a little bit more plans to mod more, but I kind of got used to it, and the white and black aesthetic does fit with everything else that I have. Alright, let's try to put it back together. So before I slot this in, put these buttons back in. I do have a distinct... I can put them in the wrong... Yeah. These I might still paint, but also maybe not. Maybe not, because yeah, like if it's blending in, I think that looks better, because then these stand out more. Even the core. This ribbon will need to not get stuck under there when I do this. This other ribbon will need to go through there. We'll need to... No, will not get stuck underneath, but... I have to force it through somehow. It's at an angle, so it's a little harder to do. Yeah, wait, hang on. I think the play here is... As long as it's over here, you can just kind of like slide it through, right? Kind of. It's still a little bit tough, but... Put these through, I can grab it, put it under there we go. And then this one we can just kind of like rescue. There we go. It's cool that all of this is one assembly, so you don't actually need to remove the motors. Or this whole assembly, that would have been... It's very well designed in terms of repairability, I would say. Even like customizability. Right, and I don't think I've forgotten anything else. So I'm gonna screw in the motors, which I guess does hold up the whole assembly, not just the motors. And before I do anything else, before I even connect these ribbon cables again, give it a... yeah. So I think these also might be higher up. They have like this... like a little bit of a difference in the shape, like a little bit more of an incline, I guess. It feels definitely different to press this, and if I press like this side, it will be like almost flattening it out completely. On this side though, you have a lot of play, and not on this side, so that's very different. It's probably something you have to get used to. I do think if you really need to rely on your D-pad and you do competitive stuff, keep this one. But I also don't think it's gonna be a problem or anything. It's definitely like this side. Like this side feels like I should have been able to press it harder. Which is interesting because I don't think... wait, maybe. Yeah, there is a gentle curve in here. Like it's almost unnoticeable, but from this side to this side, it goes kind of like this, but very, very, very gentle. So this side, let me line it up. This side is actually higher. You just wouldn't be able to see it from the shape of it, but you would be able to feel it. It is very, very slight. That's not even a millimeter total. But it does make a difference. And for the buttons, yeah, those feel nice, but same thing here. This one feels very recessed. These ones feel alright. And
Oh, they feel so clicky. I don't know if they were so clicky before. They feel really clicky. This one feels very recessed. And this one is the opposite. You can see it sticking out. So this is the one that I was like, maybe that could be a problem, that I don't like it. I do like it. It feels really easy to press. This one doesn't. If there was a way to raise this one up a little bit, maybe these a little bit too, I think that would be nice. I'm gonna just use it and maybe I'll just get used to it and this might not be a problem. It doesn't seem to be a problem, but I do notice the 4 buttons just are a little bit more comfortable and easy to press. You know, for the aesthetics. Alright, yeah, it's time to plug back in. These ribbons back in. Easy. Oh, let me also... Yeah, the touchpad still feels like it should feel. Like that, it didn't go anywhere, but... Try it out. I do feel like I notice this button is hard to press, and this one also, but maybe that's because the case is open. Actually, maybe once the case is closed, these might also have been improved a little bit. That's something I'm noticing. What other parts do I have? Oh, battery holder. I'm gonna screw that in as well and see if that moves things. See. Oh yeah, that is better. They're still very recessed, but I do think this might have already been the case. It does look like once the case is closed, it will just be better. Oh, and this is definitely a little bit better. It still feels like this is recessed, but it's fine. I really do like the O button. Like the O button is the easiest button to press, like both the X and the O, which I guess makes a lot of sense for a lot of games. Yeah, feeling has definitely changed. I do like the matte feel of it. Alright, so the microphone. Slot back into place. How exactly it was that it was open placed the first time. I guess you can just press on it and it'll... seems to be fine. Okay, so now we're back to where we were. That was surprisingly easy with when we did the battery swap. Black was on the top. Definitely haven't forgotten anything, right? Seems fine. It's good. Yeah, this is surprisingly easy to assemble and disassemble. I think this gap that I saw was just like because it got deformed a little bit from having to pry it open. It's not a big gap. Same here, it's like a little bit. I think that's just a kind of a consequence from opening it up. I'm dealing with some fairly fragile plastic anyway. So now we get a good feel for it, and that feels fine. Like, I do feel like when I'm using this, that this one does feel more recessed because of the case. So they are flat, but the case isn't. And it would be nice if this one was a little bit higher. Other than that, I don't think any of the other ones needs it. Maybe like recess this one a little bit. I do think having this one not recessed, like, was kind of like a thing I had to kind of get used to when I first got a controller because it was so alien. It does work very well. It's a great button, but yeah, it's fine. These work fine. These work as they used to work. I do think in general, if Sony had put them up just ever so slightly, it would have been nice to press, but I'm not gonna press this one because that's gonna connect to my PlayStation. No, this is fine. Yeah, you do feel it like when you go to the right, that you're like bottoming out. That's not the case in any other direction. But it's fine. It looks cool. It looks cool. Alright, let's put the screws back in. Oh, and to prevent my PlayStation from going to sleep mode, test it out. Oh, that looks... it works fine. Sweet. Left one. Really easy to remove and put back in as well. I'm very impressed with all the engineering, like even before I open it up, you know, but definitely now. Here we go. Took a lot less time than I thought it could be. Bam! Done! Oh my god, look at it. I do really like it. The contrast of these buttons being dark compared to this, like compared to the rest, it does really fill out the controller more. I really thought they were kind of like disappearing. If Sony had only made these dark and like had a little bit more color to it, maybe, like they could have not, but I do like it that way. Same with this button, like it really breaks this up. This is beautiful. I am quite pleased with it. Very quite. So let's see. So now that I disassemble it, I do think this port lines up a little bit better than last time. I don't really know what I changed. It's still a little bit off, but I do think USB-C should just plug in and we can test that. Before I needed to press down on this quite hard to do it, and now it'll just plug in back. Yeah, so that's an improvement. But you can still see it. It's a little bit recessed. This is great. It's like micro gap here, and that's not going to change. It's just because the material is I'm being too rough with it, but just for opening it. Same with this. You're only going to notice it if you're looking at it. It looks fine. All the buttons are working. I'm gonna be playing some games with this and see how it feels, but looking at it, this is a total success, man. Alright, very fun. Yeah, that's it. That took a lot less time than I expected it to take, so that's cool. Yeah, thank you for watching. This will be up on YouTube as well, in the vault thing. Next time, I'm gonna be putting in the SNES, or upgrading the SNES controls. This shouldn't take long. Actually, I feel like I could start right now. I feel like this didn't take as long as I thought it would. I feel like doing the SNES upgrade wouldn't take that much time. It would definitely be like an easier thing to do, right? So I could just continue and do that as well. Let's give it a look. Open one of these kits up. So the controllers are obviously a lot more simple. This is just a PCB with some membranes and something. That's kind of it. So let's look at the kit. I don't suppose this will be very complex. Instructions: unscrew, get PCB in. Original PCB in the bag. Well, and then screw it. Alright, this is gonna be super easy. Well, let's do these as well. I'm gonna update the stream title. There we go. We're doing it. We're doing it. Controller modding stream. Yeah, this will be a piece of cake. Let's unscrew, get the old board out, put the new one in, and done. It even comes with some screwdrivers as well and some USB. And is that? Oh, that's I was gonna say, is that USB-C or not? That's not anything. That's just a barrel jack, and it's the tiniest barrel jack I've ever seen. That's like a millimeter, maybe 1.5 millimeters. Holy shit! It's probably because they want to reuse this, without having to edit the case. So you wouldn't be able to charge these controllers with USB-C, but you would be able to charge them with USB. That's kind of unfortunate. I would have preferred USB-C. I do think it would be... It might be doable to mod this, to have USB-C and then just mod the case. But I do, I do understand why they did this. We include the oversized save back. You safely store your original wired controller PCB forever. Means you can reverse modification back to your original controller at any time. That is really nice, because I do want to keep the original parts for this and the cable, because, they don't make these anymore. Alright, let's open up the controller. Let's use the included screwdriver, see how good it is. Yeah, it's decent. Is it magnetized? It's not. There's more screws in this simple controller than there is in the PS5 one. It has a valve law, huh? Remember back in the day, the PS1, the Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2? Like, the time span that all of those came out is kind of insane. I think PS2 came out in 2000. PlayStation came out well before, but I do think, like, the time between the N64 and the PS2 coming out or something, or something like that, is like 4 years or something, which is insane compared to the graphical upgrade. I don't know if it was those particular consoles, but it was something like that. Yeah, look how simple that is compared to this was assembled by hand. I'm sure a lot of that is still assembled by hand, but So this is the full PCB. I guess they don't even need to unplug the cable. 9090 Nintendo. That's interesting. They have like dual membranes, like this membrane and this membrane. I do wonder how much of that you're gonna need to reuse. Get the new PCB out. Back that nice and flat now. So it comes with the battery pre-installed. It's just stuck there. It's a 180 milliampere hour battery. So that's very tiny compared to anything else, but this is a very simple controller. It does not have rumble or anything. I do wonder how long it will last. And it's just like the controllers. Wait, there is a micro USB port. Okay. Hang on. Let's investigate that. Oh, I think maybe going on. Yeah. This is a barrel jack to put in here. So, oh my, okay, okay, so you can charge with the barrel jack. You could also mod your controller. Not USB-C, unfortunately, but micro USB. Yeah, that is micro USB. So USB-C would have been very nice to see, but I'm very glad they included that. So you can just drill a hole if you want and use a standard micro USB. That's really nice. Oh, hang on. Yeah, it's cool that they gave you the option. I do get why they did it. I would have preferred USB-C and you just throw the hole a little bit. Huh. Really sure to make sure that they put in the buttons right, huh? All of the buttons are just written here, like RL, yellow, purple, red, lavender, green. So that's the official color for the SNES button. Bit crusty on the inside. These things are old. Alright, let's put in the new PCB. So it does look like I'll need to reuse this part. Oh right, no, okay. I thought these were like stacked on top of this because I opened it up, but I'm dumb. This is for the other side. There we go. Okay, that makes so much more sense. Just these up. This needs to go. This. This just slots in. How much work it would be to swap one of these out with USB-C? I wonder if any are like package compatible. Because it would just need to be the form factor, like the underlying wiring would be exactly the same. I might still eventually end up doing that. I like how they gave these nice and thick cables as well, because you have to like unfold it, and that'll prevent it from possibly breaking. There's not anything holding those in place, but I think like once you close the case, that will be what does it. I'm gonna do the same thing in reverse. I'm gonna fold this up. I'm gonna leave the cable attached because I also want to keep that around. And see if it'll all fit in here with the cable. I think that's why they made the bag as big as it is. It's like a PCB would have fit in a smaller bag. This will just allow you to keep everything together. Oh, there is a hole in the bag. Huh. Strange. PlayStation awake. There we go. It wouldn't exactly fit in there. Maybe actually, well, let's not. So let's just get rid of that. There you go. And so I am going to use this for now. Side view, lift up. Oh, it's how you're supposed to use the ribbon. Put it down. So, put that in. You could also have like an orientation here. I do believe they mean that you gotta plug it in this way. It just wouldn't work the other way because the other side's insulated. You can see electrical contacts are on that side. So will that just hold in place like this? I need to... I think it will. You know, but I think something moved. Yep. This thing again. That's so weird to have one of these without a cable. But yeah, if you don't drill a hole for the micro USB, let's just have this. It'll look stuck. It'll feel stuck because it is, except for PCB. It'll change the feel of it. Amazing. Alright, that feels about as good as it ever felt, which to say, you know, these do feel rather mushy. Because that's just what they are. They weren't that amazing. Oh! It's trying to pair. I think I pressed these two buttons and it's starting to pair. So there you go. I'll show you the plugs as well, but I'm going to do the other one first. Guess you don't really need to charge it right off the bat, but that is such a small plug. Does feel like this is a little bit loose, and I don't will be stuck in place properly. It doesn't seem to be coming out when I pull it. Guess that's good. is also a very short cable, so if you run out of battery, you're gonna have to need a battery pack or something to use that. Speaking of which, I do wonder what the playtime on this is, because the battery in there is very small. If it's really insignificant, there's quite a lot of room in here. It would be easy enough to upgrade it. I'm gonna charge it. No red light. And then while that's going on, I'm gonna do the second one. Oh, you know what? We're gonna reuse this little baggie. Store my original DualSense buttons. Another useless screwdriver. You know, it's nice that it comes with it for people that just want to mod their stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of play on this, right? I don't think that's a bad thing, because it'll mean it won't break off. It'll have some flex. Oh, you could always use a USB extension cord, I guess. Alright, next one. This will also be nice when traveling, because I do take consoles to friends sometimes. A lot of the bulk of the consoles comes from the cables, and the cable mess I've been able to reduce for my PS1, PS2, and my SNES now is very big. A technical dilemma. The iPod Classic. The flash modern hobo. If it's iPod is it like an old one, like pre-iOS one? Because I still have it. I still have a iPod 5.5C video, and I put Rockbox on that and Doom and that kind of stuff. It was fun to mess around with. It's really quite easy to do that and undo it. Like, it's not permanent, so I would say just go for it. I even had like the entirety of Wikipedia on it back in the day, when that was... I don't think that's doable anymore. I remember you could download the entirety of Wikipedia, and it was like... I didn't really use it, but the fact that you could do it just made me want to do it. You know what we're doing now. Alright, number 2. This will be quick and easy again. I don't think you even need to jailbreak this. I think you can just put stuff on that. I can't remember how I did it, but I did know it was very straightforward compared to, you know, a more modern iOS device like the 3GS. I do like when I had that and I used it for music, which is what most of that was. I did just use the default stock software and not Rockbox. So unless you just want to like play around with it, it's probably not really worth it, you know? So here we go, second control. This is a definitely a very different revision. Are these things in the last one? Maybe. But yeah, that's this is still pretty similar. And the print's also a little bit different. I don't remember if this looked the same on the other side. This is fully different. So still produced by Mitsumi, but this is a 1992 version instead of a 1991. Only P, I don't know what that means. Huh, there's a lot less. There's just one little chip. Well, it's quite a big one, but you know, comparatively, simplified a lot. Okay, all of this is drop-in, so you don't need different revisions of the upgrade for this to work. I still have my 5.5G and it's in really good condition, and it has the box as well, so it's just lying around. I might sell it if it's worth anything. It's an Apple product, so I got some good use out of that. Like you could get like a 4-barrel jack to composite. I converted a lot of TV shows and stuff. I put it on there and I brought that jack with me everywhere, just basically like in my pockets. And we could just watch series wherever we had a TV, which is pretty cool at the time. It was a fun device. I was happy with that purchase. Same deal. Barrel in. And didn't I have anything else that I needed to store? Oh yeah, some like OSSC parts. I might use it. Quick and easy. Anyone could do this. This one's finding me a lot more when I try to close out. I think it's because I didn't press these things in quite as well as last time. But you know, once it's tightened up, it's in place. Let's see. So this is the 1990 version. This is the 1992. I feel like the D-pad on this is a lot less loose. Yeah, this one feels more satisfying to press. This one feels a lot looser and less satisfying. These buttons, these feel really mushy. These feel better, so it's a bit of a trade-off. These buttons, they feel nice. They have like the classic mush. I think I like these a little bit better, though. It's not that different. Same with the triggers. I do like this better, so I do like the OG, I guess, a little bit better. Doesn't look like it improved, just cost savings. One more screw. There we go, fully reversible mod. Unless you decide to break out the micro USB, which I do see myself doing. Let's see, it powers on. The light's working. I didn't even know there was a light in the first. Thought it would just be a barrel jack, but yeah. And that's charging fine as well. It's not going anywhere. Sweet. So, last thing I want to do. Yes. So there's been some mods that I've done on this over the years. There's a little bit of yellowing on top, but otherwise it looks still in really good condition. I really like this thing. This is kind of the one that I grew up in, kinda. Because so my cousin had one. I've never had one, but I got this from my cousin. Like they were like, yeah, just come get it. And then like years later, I actually did. A week later, they were like, wait, I didn't want to give it away. I mean, where's that coming from? So I already modded it at that point, so I bought a new one for them. I swapped out the shell from the new one, because the new one looked like shit, but it worked. So I swapped out their original shell on the new one, and then gave them that one. But like the inside of this, that's kind of the one I grew up. So I put in a Super CIC chip to be able to switch from 60 to 50 Hz or automatic, which is kind of what it does by default by holding the reset button. And it will actually give a little bit of power, which is always... Every time you open up one of these, put it on first because there will be power. This hasn't been powered up in so long, it still did it. You can easily ruin your SNES if you don't do that. And that just feels so satisfying, right? I'm really sad for US people that didn't have this cool color scheme. This thing looks just so amazing. Anyway, this isn't Pilot Wings, by the way. This is the... Oh, what's it called again? It's the Crix flashcard, one of the first ones he made. I don't remember the name of it, but this basically has an SD card in it, which I would need to open this up for, which is easy to do. You just need the right screwdriver, which is a special one. But yeah, it has an SD card, and I've extracted the chip from Pilot Wings. I put it on the board so it's more compatible with certain things, and that's also why I reused this cartridge. But yeah, that's the flash card, Super CIC, and now we're gonna give it another upgrade. Technically two even. Which these receivers. Get a tour? Oh man, maybe one day, but I've got a lot of shit. I think we'll just go like we're doing right now. So this also doesn't come with a USB-C one. Hang on. Let me check something. These are from the... Are these from the PlayStation ones or... Oh, these might be from the Brook ones. Wait, is that the 8? No, this is 8-bit too. So these are from the PlayStation adapters. These have USB-C. The SNES ones have micro, unfortunately. But I guess they were a little bit older. Go. I think it might also be compatible with the SNES Classic and stuff. I do think... No, actually they have like separate ones. By the way, if you have an SNES Classic controller, you could also get this kit, but not this exactly. You do have to get it for the SNES Classic. That is the thing. I do think for the PlayStation, there's something similar going on, but they don't have it for the DualShock right now. Once they do have DualShock kits, I will be converting my original DualShock. I'll be really happy for it. For now, I'll be using DS4s and DS3s on the PlayStation 2. I'll do like a thing, or maybe make a video on it, hopefully, my PS2 as well, because I've been doing a load of upgrades to that as well, but it's not finished yet. Oh, wait, are these mirrored? Have you ever noticed? Oh yeah, that's kind of like aesthetically pleasing, right? These are mirrored, and that's why if you plug these in, have one going this way and one going that way. Interesting. I've never noticed that until now. Yeah, now this is wireless, and I connect these controllers. Not just these controllers. These will accept basically all 8-bit controllers. Most PlayStation controllers. You could probably use the DualSense on the SNES if you want right now. Xbox controllers, basically anything, man. Except DualShock 3. Those need to be paired to a specific process. I do think there's some of these adapters that you can use with that process, but you have to use a PC to get it paired. If you want to repair, you have to do it again. But other than that, it's just click the button and pair, and that's it. So this is cool, because now I have the original controllers, and they're wireless, and it's just kind of sick. Sweet. So the last thing I'm gonna do, but I think I'll do that off stream, is I'm gonna flash these for the firmware, because generally these things do not come updated. I was kind of surprised with the Brook adapters that I bought for my PS2. Those came with the latest firmware. It rarely happens for a device. It almost felt unsatisfactory, because I do like upgrading the device when I get it, you know? But no, that was nice. Oh yeah, controller modding. Done. For now. We'll get back to it once they actually bring out PS1 DualShock kits. And I'll let you know once I start using these, like how the battery life is on this. This would also be really cool, because I do think this is just Bluetooth to use on a PC for emulation, because you can use the original OG controllers with emulation. Really cool. Yeah. Alright, that was it. Done. Thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna go play some PlayStation, eat some food first, see how it feels. I'm so satisfied with how it looks. And also the feel of the buttons, I do really like this a lot more. You know, the recess of this is a little bit weird, but look at it. Yeah, happy. Alright. Have a good night. I'll be back, either I'll be back with maybe a gaming stream or a PS2 tour of the mods that I've done. Other than that, I'm gonna do the PS1 X-Station upgrade, but that will happen after the new year. So if I don't see you guys again, you know, have a good Christmas and stuff, and see you in the new year. We'll see. Alright, peace.